Tell me what birthright citizenship meant.
Well, I think when Donald Trump was talking about it and disparaging people over here, he was talking about undocumented people who come and drop their anchor babies. He wasn't talking about people who are here on student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the system is being gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum issue, the birthright citizen issue, Title IX issues. Every single part of society was being gamed by the left. And finally, Americans got pushed too far. The point is, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to like the restaurant. There are things, I go to a restaurant, I don't eat any seafood, but I like that restaurant because it's got steak. There are things that Trump will do that I will disagree with, but the entire package is as close as you're going to get to what Americans want. Trump is redefining basically what a human being can do in 24 hours.
Wow. That was a strong argument right there between Jessica and Gutfeld. It is an explosive debate we're gonna watch today. You don't want to miss it at all. Let's go.
First of all, when you listen to those left-wing progressive, hosts and talking heads, do they not understand what happened on November 5th? Do they not understand that everything the president was talking about as he signed those executive orders were promises that he made during the campaign, that he said he would do and that he is in the process of delivering? Do they not understand how unprecedented this country is in terms of, the border disaster, in terms of the lack of law and order, what it needs to get this country back on track? I mean, Joe Biden was probably, to me, one of the worst presidents in history. He allowed an invasion of the border. They shut us up for 2 years by saying, we are people, we're xenophobes. We don't want other people coming into this country. Therefore, don't say it's an invasion. It's exactly what it was. They were.
I think she's right about that. I think a lot of Americans feel that way as well, that Joe Biden was one of the worst presidents in all history.
Unvetted, they came in, they committed crimes. We're not allowed to keep numbers on them because secretaries of state and other state officials will not give us that information. And now what you've got are these people saying it's terrible. And Jay Johnson saying if it's not broke, don't fix it. Is the border not broke? Is law and order not broke in this country? And finally, let me just say, I love a president who can go from church in the morning to all kinds of ceremonies and inauguration, and then go to the arena, sign these orders, and then go to every ball and, be out there and be responsive to the press and invite them into the Oval Office. It's like, this is my home. Come on in. I'm signing laws for you.
Yeah, I don't imagine Biden being able to do any of that, honestly.
They're crazy on the left.
Speaking of, Jessica, we'll go to you next. What is your favorite, if you had to pick one, executive order?
My favorite as a Democrat or my favorite as an American?
I don't see why you should differentiate.
Well, because there's some partisanship going on in all of this. And
so
there are
you
points
admit
maybe
that some partisanship is un-American?
I think to some degree, of course. I think
Thank you.
There is some consensus to be had in this. And, like the back to work policy that will penalize some people that I think have legitimate reason to need to work from home. And hopefully they'll be able to make their case, whether that's taking care of a loved one. They maybe have moved during the pandemic and are still doing their job effectively. But I think it's a good thing that people are in their office. I think that makes sense.
It's a good pick.
I think some of the DEI programs went too far. And everyone has accepted that in the public and the private sector, right?
I agree. DEI should die. It went way too far right now. And people are revolting against it, and for good reason.
You have a huge surge of roles in companies, large and small, after the murder of George Floyd. And a lot of them have just quietly gotten rid of them even before it was clear that Donald Trump was going to win again. So I think that we can talk about things like that. I think you can even talk about the EV mandate. All of the automakers who share the same aspirations and goals as former President Biden have said we're not going to make our targets. So obviously we need to reassess that to some degree. But when the judge says, this is what the people voted for, Some of it they absolutely did not. And Donald Trump promised that he would bring your costs down right away. And he revoked Biden's policy to lower prescription drug prices or to make it so Medicare can't negotiate itself for prescription drug prices. That's not cool.
Where is that? Where was that?
It's look in the list.
Well, show me.
Well, what do you mean?
There's a lot more to that issue, but yeah.
Okay. Did the American people on November 5th vote for 1,660 Afghans who are being resettled here, have gone through the government process, people who helped us during the war in Afghanistan, which is translators, risking their lives, people who are on target lists for the Taliban, they had their flights canceled.
The answer is yes, they did vote
for it.
No,
they didn't.
Yes, they did.
If you sat there.
Yes, they did.
No, they
Sorry,
didn't.
Trump did not hide any of this from anyone.
True.
And that's the difference.
You guys sat here and you argued that the Afghanistan withdrawal was one of the worst atrocities in foreign policy, that we left people behind, not only American service members and Americans who are still living, the American service members who passed away tragically and the ones who are still living, but the people that helped us for years during that war. And now you say, oh, it's fine that their flights are just canceled?
No, I didn't say it's fine. I'm saying that Americans voted for it. That's the difference. I don't have to say it's fine. I'm just telling you the reality.
Did you vote to revoke birthright citizenship for the children of people who are here legally?
Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me about it. Tell me what birthright citizenship meant.
Well, I think when Donald Trump was talking about it and disparaging people who are here, he was talking about undocumented people who come and drop their anchor babies. He wasn't talking about people who are here on student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the system is being gamed.
I agree. The system is being gamed, and it is completely broken, and it should stop. People should basically stop exploiting the system. These H-1B visas companies are exploiting this to hire cheap labor from overseas and are not hiring Americans instead. And it is sad, and it should stop. And Donald Trump is right about this.
Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum issue, the birthright citizen issue, Title IX issues. Every single part of society was being gamed by the left. And finally, Americans got pushed too far. The point is, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to like the restaurant. There are things, I go to a restaurant, I don't eat any seafood, but I like that restaurant because it's got steak. There are things that Trump will do that I will disagree with, but the entire package is as close as you're going to get to what Americans want. Trump is redefining basically what a human being can do in 24 hours. It's incredible. He did more in a day than Biden did in his damn career, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. He had.
I think a lot of people feel that way, that Joe Biden was basically completely incompetent and did nothing to improve their life and the country. And now Donald Trump is trying to fix everything. Will he be able to fix everything in 4 years? I'm not sure, but we will see. He will probably do what he can.
3 balls last night. That's 3 more than Adam Kinzinger. The guy hasn't slept in 2 days. I mean, the thing is, it's amazing. It's possible. It is possible. Donald Trump could complete his presidency in 3 months.
Right.
And then he could just say, you know what?
Is that a promise?
He goes, you know what, JD, you take it from here. I think I did everything I could do. It's incredible. And by the way, you brought up, and you said it was a good thing, you know, the fact that like these people have to go back to work, but then you mentioned all these challenges they have. Well, welcome to America. Every single one of us has a challenge, but yet we come to work. I'm not going to pay for their porn addiction. If they want to sit home in front of Pornhub and go, I have chronic fatigue syndrome, you know what? Everybody in America could stay home because they have a sick loved one or a baby, but they aren't. They're coming to work. They should go. I'm glad that he got rid of the appointees. I need work around the house. I pay well.
Greg's hiring.
But I'm not done.
That was beautiful. Honestly, Gutfeld was getting super emotional about this right there against Jessica. I don't like what Jessica was saying at all. Honestly, I've never liked her. But Gutfeld is speaking the truth. He is telling the truth right there and telling just like it is. People wanted change ultimately. They voted for Trump because they wanted him to fix all the Biden mistake. Fix the border crisis, stop inflation from going too high, reduce the cost of living, end wars all over the world and bring peace and prosperity. back to America and the rest of the world. Thanks. Let me know what you think about this in the comment below this video. I hope you enjoyed this video with me today. Thanks for watching and staying with me to the end. And as always, click right there to watch the next video. And I will see you there. Bye bye.